testing, 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 testing. Oh, look who decided to show up for sound check. Fancy seeing you here, sir.
What's up, everyone? It's episode 83 of Temperamental. We're going to talk really softly and calmly because I thought maybe that would make Kevin stay, but it didn't. It didn't. He walked away anyway. As soon as I started talking, he's just like, peace out. Hi, excuse me. This is Lisa with a quick public service announcement. I believe several times in this episode, I call it episode 83. It is episode 84. You know, your girl's not good with the numbers, but she has other skills. Episode 84. Episode 84. Anyway, yes, okay, now I can talk at my normal, very loud and obnoxious volume. Yeah, go me. Welcome to episode 83. It's Temperamental. Episode 84. It's Tempe in the house. Girl Kevin is here because she doesn't care how loud I talk because she talks louder than me because she's a seagull and she's always like, meow, and it's so annoying. She does it at 2 a.m. Yes! Love that she does it at 2 a.m. How you doing? Yeah, you living your best life? Guys, Can I start again? Call me Indiana Jones the way I'm unearthing I am unearthing dog. Dude, call me Jack Sparrow the way I'm finding treasure. Call me Shia LaBeouf the way I'm digging holes to find, what were they finding in that movie? They were digging holes in the movie Holes, right? They were digging holes. Why? Don't remember. Don't even know if I saw it. Probably did. Anyway, I'm Indiana Jones, dog, and I'm finding stuff belongs in a museum. Let me tell you why. Okay, so I just need to breathe sometimes. So Craft House Brewery is a local brewery here in Las Vegas, and my gal Wendy, who owns the place, she called me up and she's like, yo, we do trivia every Monday night. Do you want to host one of the trivias on a Monday night? And do you want it to be old school Nickelodeon trivia? And I was like, yes! Said yes so fast. Cut her off. Didn't even let her finish asking me. I'm like, yes, I'll be there. Are you kidding me? That sounds awesome. I would attend that. Even if I wasn't hosting it. Old school Nickelodeon trivia night at a brewery. Am I drinking an IPA and reminiscing at the same time? Am I drinking an IPA and reminiscing? That sounds awesome. Two of my favorite things. Drinking IPAs, reminiscing. So stoked about that. Gonna host Nickelodeon trivia at Craft House next Monday. Look on my Instagram for the exact date. Anyway, this did that thing, you know, like in movies when like the main character, like something is said and it like triggers a memory and it's like, and it like goes backwards through their whole history, their whole memory. And it's and then they get to the scene, right? The scene that was triggered by the thing that they heard in present day. So that was me. So Wendy's like, trivia. And I'm like, yeah. And then all that. And I landed at a show that never aired, that I hosted, that never came to be, and no one knows about. Dude, I unearthed it. I'm Indiana Jones. I unearthed it. And it belongs in a museum. Okay, let me pitch this show to you, right? So, this show never sold. But I only pitched it to like 2 people. So maybe I should have pitched it to more people because I think it's a great show that I came up with it. I filmed it myself. I edited it. I put in all the graphics. I did all the things. I have had a massive energy drink this morning. Just the biggest one ever. Look at the size of this cup. That was energy drink from top to bottom. Okay? And I'm halfway through. I say through like a British person now. I'm halfway through. So that's where this energy is coming at you from. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh my gosh. Yes, so I made this show because I was getting to the point where I was hosting so many shows, right? You girls are hosts. I was in the video game industry for years. UFC, companies were constantly hiring me to stand in front of a green screen and say words at the camera and talk to the audience and explain something. Love explaining things. And I was doing so many of those that were fun, but not like, it wasn't stuff that I would have watched. Isn't that terrible, right? I was making a lot of shows for other people, and none of them at the time were something like I would tune into that as just a viewer. So I'm like, what's a show that I could come up with, I could host, I could produce, and it's something I would want to watch. So I came up with the show that I called Outer Reaches, and it was a little sci-fi themed, and it was movie trivia. It was geek movie trivia and fun facts. And I'm going to play a little clip of it for you. Audio listeners, you're still going to get it. Video viewers, you can see how the first one was about Star Trek Beyond, and I dressed in the little Star Trek dress. I'm like, I'm going to dress like the movie I'm talking about. It was my whole pitch was awesome. Let me play a clip of this show for you, and then we'll get back to it. Go. Welcome to Outer Reaches, going beyond the scenes of your favorite films, TV shows, video games, comics, pretty much all the things. Grab your phasers, let's blast into Star Trek Beyond. But first, can you answer this trivia question? Which of these actors was not considered for the role of Captain James T. Kirk in the Star Trek reboot? Chris Pratt, Mike Vogel, Matt Damon, or Joshua Jackson? Find out at the end, so stay tuned. Our beautiful Chris Pine sports quite the shiner during the film. According to Idris Elba, who plays Crawl, things got a little too rough during filming and Idris hit him. But that's okay. Idris got what was coming to him because apparently his makeup was so intense he had to eat lunch through a straw. Ew. Not a bad show, right? Even going back and watching it, I'm like, this is interesting. This movie came out a million years ago. I don't even think it got a good rave. Did people like Star Trek Beyond? I don't know. I like movie fun facts. I like behind the scenes stuff. Did I play the one where it's like he had to eat through a straw because of all his prosthetics? Yeah, I love stuff like that. But part of the reason I do this podcast is because I have so many behind the scenes stories from my time on All That would blow your mind, that I have no one to tell them to because my friends are so sick of me. My friends are like, can you just not? Can we just come over and drink 12 beers and just hang out without you being like, do you remember the episode where Keenan gets started on sugar and coffee and then he swung on the rope and he hit the sides of the wall and everybody laughed and it was so funny? Yeah, Lisa, we've heard it 12,000 times. Can you not? No, my friends are super cool. And, they like me no matter what, probably. So that's part of why I started the podcast, because I have so much behind the scenes footage, pictures no one has ever seen, and stories no one's ever heard. In fact, you know what's crazy? You know the documentary that shall not be named, the Voldemort documentary, we'll call it. Most of the pictures used in that of my cast were taken by my mom. I'm watching the documentary and I'm like, how did they get all these pictures? These are only on my mom's hard drive. She took these photos and now they're on the Voldemort shall not be named documentary that made me so mad. What is going on? So that was very strange. But that just goes to show you that my hard drive has thousands more just like that that HBO didn't get a hold of. So yeah, I was really excited about that show, right? The Outer Reaches. I was trying to pitch it specifically to Her Universe, the Star Wars themed clothing brand started by Ashley Eckstein, who is the voice of Ahsoka Tano. She and I are buddies. At the time, it seemed like they were trying to go in more of a YouTube direction. And I'm like, this is perfect. Let's do a deal. And then they kind of moved away from that. So that didn't really work out. And then I talked to a couple more of my friends just hey, this is a great show that I want to do and produce on my own. Can I sell this? And they were like, yeah, let me ask around. And then nobody asked around, I guess. Whatever, it's fine. I don't think I tried hard enough to sell it because I think it's a great show. But it was also near the time of the internet where shows like that were kind of on the decline. Right? I used to get a lot of green screen hosting jobs, and then all of a sudden they were less and less and less, and now they're none. It's just not the style of show that we really do anymore as the internet, which is a shame because I still like that style of show. But anyway, I thought to myself, okay, this is a memory that's been unlocked. I'm Indiana Jones. This belongs in a museum. you know what? If that's something that I like, that I'm interested in, then I should do it on my show where I'm in charge. I'm in charge of this. I can do what I want. It's my show. It's my show. If I want to show a jar of mayonnaise for an hour, I can. So anyway, welcome to Tempe Trivia. It's episode 1 of Tempe Trivia, even though it's actually episode 83. It's like an episode within an episode. It's like a dream within a dream, like the Britney Spears tour. It's an episode within an episode. This is episode 1 of Tempe Trivia, even though it's episode 83. Yeah, let's go. Episode 84. Tempe Trivia, Tempe Trivia. Some kind of theme song needs to like go there like, Tempe Trivia, Tempe Trivia. Yeah, asking those questions and telling you stuff you don't know. We're going to work on that. This is the pilot episode of Tempe Trivia. So anyway, I thought appropriately, the first show that we should look into for fun facts, fun little nuggets of information should be All That. It just makes sense, right? So, my source for fun facts and trivia is not ChatGPT, because whatever. I'm going to use good old IMDb, because did you know that when you look up a movie or an actor on IMDb, there is a trivia section, and it's got a bunch of fun facts, and they usually post the source, which I appreciate. But that's going to be where we get ours. And is it true? I don't know. That's what I'm excited about this first one, is because I can probably help confirm whether or not these are true. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 1 of Tempe Trivia. Really off-putting way of starting that. Okay, let's go for it. Trivia number 1. The longest-running cast member, apart from Kevin Coppola, as of April 2005, was Josh Server, who was on the show from the beginning until the full cast change. That is true. Josh Server was always one of my favorites. He was consistently funny and consistently a very kind human. And I believe he even past his series regular days, he appeared on the reboot. He also appeared several times in my seasons. So the dude has just been on the show forever. He is, when you think of All That, you usually think Keenan, Kel, Amanda Bynes. Those are like the 3 names that come to mind. I think that's wrong. I think it should be Josh Server. Like, it's basically his show. He was incredible, super funny. I'm Detective Dan. Like, such a good character. And also it says the longest running cast member apart from Kevin Coppola. Now, that is debatable, because was Kevin Coppola technically a cast member? I think we can call him a guest star and a writer. He's not a series regular, so I wouldn't call him a cast member. He, in the early seasons, he would come on and be like, 5 minutes till showtime, 5 minutes. You remember Kevin? He was also a writer and producer on the show, and he has been for a long time. He was a writer and producer on the newer reboot, the 2021. So yeah, that doesn't really count that he's a cast member, so we're just going to go with Josh Server. There you go. That one's true. Fun fact number 2. Emma Stone revealed on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon that when she was 12 years old, she auditioned unsuccessfully for the relaunched series During an Open Call. That's my series. She thought that prepared sketches would be given to the potential candidates to read in the audition room. However, 5 minutes before she entered the room, she was told that she needed to come up with 3 original characters. So one of them was a cheerleader that couldn't spell what she was cheering, and another was a babysitter who is possessed. And years later, obviously, she went on to star in all the things that she's starring on. But yes, so it's so funny. I've kind of wanted to talk about this, but I didn't know if it was common knowledge or not. A couple years ago, my buddy Dan, I love Dan, whatever, say what you want. I love Dan. And he sent me a message that he was going through old audition tapes for All That, and he came across Emma Stone's audition, and he wanted to let me know. He was like, just so you know, like, Emma Stone auditioned for your cast and she didn't make it and you did. And so just want you to have an extra boost of confidence today. And you know what? It did give me an extra boost of confidence. Obviously, she's doing better in her career now than I am, and it's all good. But let me tell you, that's kind of cool, right? She's incredible, but it just goes to show you that actors are just good at different things. Because is she an Oscar winner? I think she's an Oscar winner. And All That was not her thing. All That was a very strange show. It was not for everybody. It was, as I've talked about many times, it was a perfect marriage between theater and television because we filmed in front of a live audience. We had a sea full of kids. We were trying to nail it. We were bringing the energy. We were talking to the kids in the back. But also we were filming a TV show where we had to remember continuity and we had to remember to play to certain cameras. And also it was very high energy. And also it was comedy. And also there was some improv. It was just such a different show than everything else on television. Obviously SNL is really the only comparison sketch comedy wise. There's some other sketch comedy shows, but the biggest one is SNL. It just makes sense that Keenan went from All That to SNL. It's kind of like this training ground. Everything I've heard about SNL, I'm not interested in being on. Dude, I'm not. People have asked me that for years. Like, why don't you go to SNL? I'm like, I'm not. Everything I've heard about that environment and like how cutthroat it is, and I'm just not interested in that. But yeah, it's funny. I kind of feel bad for her because, and I've not seen this clip on Jimmy Fallon. If you guys can find the Jimmy Fallon clip of her talking about this, I would love to see it. But I kind of feel bad for her because she's like, I didn't know I had to come up with characters. Now, for me, it was made very clear that when I got the audition and I was going into audition, it was very clear to me that I had to come up with 3 original characters, in some kind of monologue, and then read a script that they had, do a back and forth little script with them, and then answer any questions that they threw at you, about yourself and your life and whatever. A little improv questionnaire, Q&A type of thing. It was made very clear to me at the beginning that that is what I was supposed to do. And I spent a lot of time honing my characters. I picked some strange ones. I picked Buddy Hackett from It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I picked Rosanna Dana from SNL. And I picked Norma Desmond from Sunset Boulevard. Very classic old Hollywood characters. Because I was a weird kid and I liked those movies and those, I liked old SNL. And I'm sure I was the only kid out of the thousands of kids that was doing those kind of characters. Probably why I stood out. And why they brought Buddy Hackett on the show later, because I think the writers were just flabbergasted that a 12-year-old was doing an impression of Buddy Hackett, and so they brought Buddy Hackett on. But yeah, I feel bad for Emma because there have definitely been auditions where I show up and I was not given proper information for preparing for it. I didn't know I had to read a 7-page Shakespearean monologue. Okay, give me 20 minutes in my car and I'll be right back after a quick cry. It's unfortunately her agent or manager or something didn't give her the right information. That sucks, dude. That sucks. Because I bet she would have come up with something super killer because she's funny. She's super funny. But yeah, in that moment, she obviously didn't get the right information. It didn't work out for her. It wasn't her thing. That's all good. She found her path. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know if she loved All That as much as I did when I was a kid, but I've told the story many times that All That was my favorite show growing up. I got an audition for a guest star on season 6, didn't get it. I was devastated. I thought my whole world was collapsing, but everything happens for a reason. And the next year I became a series regular. So I don't know if that was also her case or if she didn't care about all that and it wasn't that devastating for her. But it's funny that she talked about that. It's funny that I heard about it, didn't know if it was true or not. And then now she's, I guess it's public knowledge. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Cast members Kenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, Laura Beth Denberg, and Josh Server had a mini reunion on February 8th, 2018 episode of MTV's Wild 'N Out. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, I think I remember that. There was also a couple other bigger reunions that have happened over the last 10 years that were put together by yours truly. But it's all good. That one's fine. Girl group TLC performed the All That theme song. Yep, that is true, except for season 10. Season 10 of All That is the only season that TLC... Did they do it for the reboot? Surely they did. Season 10 of All That, my season 10, was the only season where we did not use the TLC version of the All That theme song. And that is because I sang it. Yeah! I sang it with Lil Bow Wow and Chelsea Brummett and Keon Underwood. So the 3 of us were brought in the recording studio to do all the... And then Bow Wow, I don't think he was Lil Bow Wow at the time. I think he dropped the Lil. He's bigger Bow Wow. Big Bow Wow did all the rap parts, and then we sang all the girl parts. And so season 10 that's my little factoid that I can add in there. All right, let's see. From seasons 1 to 2, the show was filmed at the Nickelodeon studios at Universal Orlando Resort in Florida. After the end of season 2, the show's filming moved to Nickelodeon on Sunset in Hollywood, California. Not true. Not true at all. Pretty sure that all that up to season 6 was filmed in Orlando. I'm almost positive. It was definitely filmed in Orlando longer than season 1 or 2. I think. Oh my gosh, now I'm doubting myself. I was under the impression that all that did not come to LA until my seasons, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Who am I to question IMDb? All right. Let's see. Lori Beth Denberg's favorite sketch of hers was Loud Librarian. Her least favorite sketch was Vital Information, although it was the more popular sketch. I wonder why that is. I wonder why it would be a least popular. That was a great sketch. She would just say insane things, and it landed every time. At least when I was a kid, every Vital Information I thought was very funny, and she did a great job. I wonder why she didn't like it. Let's see. Let me find one that I can actually comment on. There's a lot on here. Although Katrina Johnson had left the show midway through the 3rd season when her contract expired, she was still featured in the opening credits during that season. It's not really much of a fun fact. Good. I'm glad that they kept her in there. I love Katrina. She's awesome. She used to live in Vegas here with me, and she is responsible for one of my most fun birthdays ever. I forget which birthday it was, but she was in town. She's like, I want to hang out. I was like, yeah, it's also my birthday. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's your birthday. She's like, what are you doing for your birthday? And I'm like, nothing. And she's like, we're going to fix that. And she took me to Chandelier Bar at Cosmo, and we got lit, and it was super fun. Like, she went over the top to make me feel really special on my birthday. And she and I do an episode on my YouTube channel just reminiscing about old All That stories. And you should absolutely go check that out. She is lovely. She's just one of those... She's the full package where she's gorgeous. She has this incredible body, and she's so funny. It's so hard to find perfect 10s who are also hysterically funny. It's a very rare combination. Let's see here. Christina Kirkland. Okay, well, that's not her name, first of all. Okay, we're starting to tap into the idea that maybe IMDb is not as accurate as I was hoping it would be, because her name is not Christina Kirkland. Oh, do they sell her at Costco? Hey, I'll take 10 Christina Kirklands, please. I'll take a box. You can check my receipt as I leave. Her name is Christina Kirkman. I used to call her Kirky. I don't know why. That was just a nickname that I gave her, Kirky. I think Jack also called her Kirky. Kirky! Christina Kirkman joined the series after winning the Are You All That Nickelodeon Search for the Funniest Kid in America competition in 2003. Yes. Runner-up Ryan Coleman joined the series mid-season as a replacement for Brian Hearn. And nobody replaced anyone. That's kind of a rude way of saying that. Also, like, kind of racist to say that. Like, it's not. They weren't... I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to cancel, but like that's a really rude way of saying that. Nobody replaced anybody on All That. There was no, it's not like we played a particular character and then somebody else came in and played that same character. No, everybody on All That played themselves plus funny characters in sketches. So nobody replaced anyone. It was a fluid cast. People came, people went, just like SNL. Same thing. Nobody replaced anybody. Love Brian Hearn. I'm trying to get him and Gio to come to Vegas and be on my podcast. Brian Hearn and Gio and I all have a group chat on Instagram where we send each other funny memes and tell each other how much we love each other and how much we miss each other. And I want them to come to Vegas and be on my podcast. So you should pressure them to do that. You should go to their Instagram accounts and just leave 100 comments about how they need to come to Vegas and be on my podcast. Yeah, go spam them. They'll love it. Christina did win Funniest Kid in America. It came down to 5 kids who were all very funny. And from what I understand, all 5 of them ended up doing well. I think one of them went on to be on Zoe 101. Ryan obviously was on the show. Gosh, I'm forgetting all their names. That makes me really mad because they were all super sweet kids. But Christina became kind of my little sister on All That. We have a very funny sketch together called Sunshine Sally, where she plays this doll that like has come to life. And when my parents are, I'm the little girl and she's my doll. And every time my parents are around, which is Chelsea and Jack, she's very well behaved. And she's like, my name is Sunshine Sally. And they're like, oh, what a cute toy. Very similar to the Fairly Odd Parents thing. This is the vibe they were going up. But then every time my parents left the room, she was like, hey, give me a pack of smokes. I don't know if she said that, but same vibe. So she like talked like a trucker, like a chain smoker from Jersey every time that they left the room. It is a very funny sketch. And there's a great blooper from that. In fact, I should show that now to the poor people who cannot see it, who are listening. Basically, Christina had to throw a book backwards through a window, and it was special glass that was made to shatter quickly. But she just couldn't break it. She couldn't break it over and over and over and over. And we filmed, it was in front of a live studio audience. So the kids saw attempt after attempt after attempt after attempt. Finally, she gets it. But instead of continuing on with the scene, she stops, looks at the audience and gives them like a, yeah, like fist in the air, like, yeah. It's like, finally we got it. And she doesn't continue with the scene. She breaks character. Which she's like 11, of course. Like 10 or 11, she was young, like, of course. One of the funniest moments ever. And I'll show that clip right now.
Once upon a time, there was this little... Once upon a time, there was this... There was this... This little... Shoot! It didn't break! I couldn't break it either! Once upon a time, there was this...
All right, moving on. Let's. This has all been very jovial, so let's be depressing. R&B singer Aaliyah was supposed to be the musical guest for the show's 7th season, but after her death in a plane crash in August 2001, a different musical guest was found. Interesting. That would be my season. I was in season 7. I did not know this. This is news to me. I wonder if this is true. I wonder if it is. I did not know that. How heartbreaking that she was supposed to be on my season as a musical guest and then she wasn't because of her plane crash. That is devastating, man. All right, let's move on. Katrina Johnson had to go back to audition for the show 5 times. I'm sure that's true because I had to audition 7 times. All that was very big on callbacks. They really wanted to put us through the ringer, audition after audition after audition to make sure we were good enough to hang with this very fast-paced, intense show. Never heard of a show having that many callbacks. There's maybe 2 or 3 other shows that I've auditioned for in the past where I got to like the final 2 or final 3 girls, didn't get it, but I remember those audition processes being maybe like 3 or 4 callbacks, but all that by far, like you have to prove yourself like over and over and over and over, bring the energy every time, bring the funny, say something different, right? Your first audition, you want to give it your all, you want to be super funny, but then if you get called back, you want to say a little something different when they're giving you the Q&As, asking you about yourself, about your school, about things you like you had to like come up with different answers 7 times because just every time you went in for a callback, it was a different group of producers and writers that wanted to see you. All right, let's see. Okay. This isn't really a fun fact. Everybody just kind of knows that the show is the starting point of Dan Schneider's career at Nickelodeon. 2 shows developed with actors from the show were Zoe 101 with Jamie Lynn Spears, Victoria starring Victoria Justice, who had also starred on Zoe 101. This is all just, everybody knows this. Aside from this, there was The Amanda Show starring Amanda Bynes, Drake and Josh starring Drake Bell and Josh Peck, which they were not on all that, so I don't know why they're saying that. Followed by iCarly. Oh, they're just listing all of Dan's shows. There was definitely talks at one point of me getting my own show on all that, spin-off show of all that. And I'm pretty sure it's just the way Hollywood goes. I'm not bitter about it. but I'm pretty sure that was all scrapped once Jamie Lynn Spears joined the cast, and they were really putting all of their time and money and effort into her. And so the spinoff show from all that was obviously Zoe 101. And that makes sense, right? Like, she had a much bigger fan base than I did. She was Britney Spears' sister. Like, of course she was going to get her own show. It just makes sense. It hurt a little bit because my dream was to be the next Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was on All That. I loved her to death. Then she got the Amanda show. That was the new Carol Burnett show. I was a massive fan of Carol Burnett. Loved All That. Loved the Amanda show. Loved everything that world, in that whole world, right? Just that super funny female comedian, crazy characters, crazy wigs, crazy makeup. I loved all of that. And so when there was like whispers that maybe Lisa was going to get her own show, maybe, I was very excited about that. Nothing was confirmed. But obviously all those whispers completely stopped, like, once Jamie Lynn joined the cast, and that's Hollywood, baby. Like, you know, I can't compete with that. Like, I come from a nobody family from Spokane, Washington. She's a Spears. Can't compete with that. Okay. Shane Lyons, Giovanni Samuels, and Jamie Lynn Spears left the series after the 9th season. That is true. Gio left because she felt that she was too old to be on the show. Spears left to star in her own TV show called Zoe 101. Yes. With them leaving season 9, this made Chelsea Brummett, Jack DeSena, Lisa Foyles, and Kyle Sullivan to be the only four original new cast members to remain with the show until the end. Phrased weird. Hashtag phrased weird. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was, we were the 4 that stayed for all 4 seasons. I don't think that is such a lie. Gio left because she thought she was too old for the show. 100% that's not true. I don't know why. It's hard because it's a business, right? It's not super happy fun time. So if somebody leaves a TV show, that's not, like, we have nothing to do with that. That is just some decision that's made by somebody that we don't even know, some higher up who's just deciding to mix up the cast, bring in new people. I know that was always important to the network for All That, is that there was constantly fresh blood. And it wasn't just the same cast every year, that there was always a new addition. There was somebody coming in, somebody exiting. They just wanted that to be diverse, just bring in new kids, try new things. And looking back to season 1, obviously that's what they did. There was always kids coming going, except Josh Server. Well, I mean, but yeah, even season 7, they got rid of Josh Server to bring in a new cast. Look at SNL. It's just the way it goes. I don't think Gio had any, it wasn't her. I don't believe it was her decision to leave. I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it, but I don't think it was. And it certainly wasn't because she thought she was too old. She looks younger than all of us. Like, it's crazy. Go look at her Instagram. She looks the same as she did at season 7. I'm like, how are you doing this? She moisturizes really well, I'm sure. Let's see. In 2000, Nickelodeon placed the series on hiatus to retool it, but production resumed a year later with the cast members from the previous season replaced. Again, I don't like replaced. Just, I don't know. By Chelsea Brummett, Jack DeSena, Lisa Foyles, Brian Hearn, Shane Lyons, Giovanni Samuels, Kyle Sullivan. Yes. It's not really a fun fact. That's just a fact. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm going to read this because this is a giant paragraph and I haven't looked ahead. So let's find out. In the season 1 intro, the opening says, "Not quite live, but ready for prime time. Get ready, get set. It's all that." I am not aware of that. Does it say that in the first season? Wow, I'm not sure. This is a reference to Saturday Night Live, which started in 1975, which referred to their repertory players as the not quite ready for primetime players. I did know that during the show's first 3 seasons. Additionally, this references the fact that All That was pre-recorded and aired during primetime on Nickelodeon, whereas Saturday Night Live, since its inception, has been broadcast live during late night on NBC, as well as All That notoriously being referred to as the Saturday Night Live for kids. After season 1, the opening was changed to the more known "Fresh out the box, stop, look and watch, ready yet, get set, it's all that," which it's wrong here. Here it says, "Fresh out the box, stop, look and watch, get ready, get set, it's all that." Wrong. See, guys, if we're going to keep Tempe Trivia going, which I'd like to, I might have to find a more reliable source than IMDb, because Christina Kirkland is not her name. She's not sold at Costco. And it is not get ready, get set. It's ready yet, get set. Which remained in the intro until the conclusion of the 6th season and was used in subsequent rebroadcasts of the first season. Yeah, okay. So I'd say half of that trivia was interesting. About a third of it is stuff I didn't know. So we're learning that together. That's pretty cool. I could add a lot to that list. I could go all Wikipedia style and be like, I'm going to spend my evening updating this trivia entry for the show, all that. And I could really add some fun, juicy stuff in there. But instead, I will save all of that for this podcast. Let me check how I'm doing on time. All right. Now it's your guys' turn. You guys got to leave me a comment saying, yes, we like Tempe Trivia. We would like you to every once in a while do trivia fun facts about TV shows and films that you liked as a kid that is very nostalgic to all of us. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds awesome. Or be like, boo. Thumbs down if you're not into Tempe Trivia. I think it'd be super fun. We're not going to do it every week. Just like every once in a while, I'll be like, Tempe Trivia episode. And we'll take some kind of TV show or movie. For October, this would be great. I would love to dive into Halloween Town. You remember that Disney Channel Originals movie? Halloween Town, when she goes to a Halloween town. I used to love that movie. I would love to look up some trivia and fun facts about that movie with you guys. I'm not going to read it beforehand. I'm not going to prepare at all, because that's what a professional would do. Nothing about this show is professional. So I'm going to read it along with you guys and we can find out together. And I think that would be super fun. But everything I do on this show, I want to be entertaining to you guys. So if you're not into that, give me a nice thumbs down, maybe like a poop emoji and a thumbs down if you're not into it. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up and a Ferris wheel. Give me those two things. And I just appreciate you guys coming back every week and hanging with me. I love doing this. I love doing this podcast. I'd like to do it forever, but I'm only going to do it if you guys are cool with it and you like it. So, love you guys. Bye. What did they say it was? Fresh out the box, stop, look, and watch. Get ready, get set. It is all that. No, it's not. Fresh out the box, stop, look, and watch. Ready yet, get set. It's all that. Right? I am right, aren't I? That is how it goes. Oh boy.